talk with you again, because a vision softly creeping left its seeds while I was sleeping, and the vision.
Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. I just thought I'd film another tutorial for you today while my kids are in school. Fixing to go pick them up. They do have parent-teacher conferences today, so fingers crossed, get good news. So we'll just jump right into the video, and I hope you guys enjoy. If you haven't already, please make sure you subscribe to my channel and hit the thumbs up button. So the look I'm going to film for you today, I'm going to be using the Morphe Jaclyn palette. I absolutely love this palette. It is very versatile and it has so many pretty shades to choose from. I absolutely love it. I definitely was not disappointed when I bought it. I know that a lot of people are talking right now. They're not real happy about how packaging is changing, and to me it's just a package. What difference does it make? All the colors are still the same. You still get the same look. You still get the same product. So I think it's just people wanting to find something to complain about. I think the palette's absolutely amazing. I haven't been getting much sleep lately. I don't know why, but my circles under my eyes are extremely bad. So I'm going to take this Hard Candy Sheer Envy Instant Eye Fix. It depuffs, brightens, smooths, primes, and moisturizes. So definitely gonna need this today. I don't want to go to parent-teacher conferences looking all like I haven't slept or looking terrible. So it's got like this metal tip on there, and you just squeeze it and roll it under your eyes. So, oh goodness. Definitely a little bit more than I wanted to use. So as you can see, that already brightened up before this eye. So now we're going to do the same thing to this eye. I do have a different one though that I think I'm going to use under this eye and kind of see what the difference is between the two of them. So I had taken my mom to Sephora because she had never been before. And so we were walking around, we were just kind of looking at stuff, and this lady come up. She's like, hey, she's like, do you guys want to try this? It's for dark circles, and it has caffeine in it, and it's supposed to make you look more awake. It's the Eye Duty Triple Therapy, instantly brightens, depuffs, and smooths, and it's by First Aid Beauty. So, of course, my mom was like, oh yeah, I need that. And so she put some on us. This one's a little bit different. This one, it comes out the back, and then you use the silver ball to kind of roll it in. So we're just going to do that under this eye and kind of see what the difference is. But, so my mom, of course, was like, yeah, I need that. I want to try that. So she did it to my mom. My mom was like, oh my gosh, you have to try it. It feels so good. So we ended up trying it and loved it. And it definitely does help, especially when you're not sleeping. Price comparison, like I said, the Hard Candy one does just fine. If you want to spend the extra money and get the First Aid Beauty one, be my guest. But this one's like $35. This one's like $10, so kind of makes sense to do the $10 one. It does the same thing. Like I said, the bags under my eyes are gone. I actually feel like this side is a little bit better than this side, but to each his own. What may work for me and it may not work for you. So I definitely would recommend giving the Hard Candy one a try. It wouldn't hurt. Like I said, it is only $10, so it's not like you're out a whole bunch of money if for some reason you don't like it. And yes, I'm having a crazy hair day today, so please look past my hair. I'm just going to prime our eyes like normal, so I'm going to take my Tarte Shape Tape Concealer and go ahead and just prime my eyelids and underneath my eyes. I don't do like the multiple stripes underneath my eyes. I feel like that's too much for me. I feel it brings out my wrinkles. So to me, it's just easier just to do the one stripe and then kind of blend it out the way I want it to blend out instead of a ton of different lines. So we're just going to take our damp beauty blender and then we're just going to make sure all that is nice and blended. I'm just going to take our damp beauty blender. You just want to make sure it's all nice and blended out. You don't want to see any harsh lines from your concealer to your face. And like I said, I do my concealer first. It's a personal preference. It's not that big of a deal if you do it after. My allergies have been killing me because of this weather. It can't decide whether it wants to be hot or whether it wants to be cold. So my nose is like dying. Jury baking powder in the color banana. The natural heat from your body will cook the powder over base, foundation, or concealer, giving you a flawless finish. I don't bake, especially I'm just doing my eyelids right now. So I just want a little bit of that to put over my eyelids so that way we have a clean slate to do our eyeshadow. Crazy about this packaging. It's kind of odd. I mean, you kind of have to dump a little bit in your cap and then try not to make a mess with it, which I am, so I'm not going to mess with it anymore. And then we're just going to grab our Morphe palette and then just start on. Alright, so now we're just going to grab our palette and we're just going to start in with our colors. So I do have my color card that came with my palette. This is what I'll be using to tell you what colors I'm using because, like I said, I have the original palette, so I don't have the colors on the back or on the lid. So I will just use my color card to tell you what colors I'm using. If you got the one off of Morphe, they all came with this color card. Now the ones at Ulta, they do have the colors on the back of the palette, so that way you can kind of tell what colors we're going in with, and you're not guessing by just me pointing at what colors we're using. So I'm just going to take a big fluffy brush, and this is my MAC 224 brush, just big and fluffy, and then I'm going to take butter, pooter, and pukey all at one time. So that's in this row right here, and it's these first, I guess not first three, but it's not this orange one, but the three after that are the ones that I will be using. So I just dab my brush in it, tap off the excess, and then just start going in. These are really great transition shades. They are very pigmented, but at the same time, it gives you a really natural base to work with. We're just going to do the same thing on this side, and I'm not really keeping it in any area. I'm just kind of throwing it up there. Okay, so now that we have that color down, I think I'm going to take a little bit of Hunt and Roxanne, and I'm going to mix those two together and then just kind of blend those into those transition shades that we have. So let me show you which ones. So it's going to be like this more orangey color right here next to the 3 that we used, and then the one right here. So we're just going to take a dab of both of those and then tap off the excess, and then we're just going to put that on the outer corner and start working our way in. Kind of taking it like straight out. I'm not going just straight down because I want it to be more of the cat eye effect. Also, what's a good trick for that is just taking regular Scotch tape. Let me find some and I will show you. Okay, so I'm taking it out instead of down to make my eyes look more awake. Like I said, I am very exhausted. So I'm just going to take some tape. This is an easier way to do it for if you're just starting out or you kind of don't know where that line is. So you want to just get a piece of clear Scotch tape, put it on the back of your hand so where it's not so sticky, and then peel that off. And then you just kind of want to go, don't get your eyelashes in there, but kind of go at an angle. And then just stick it right there. So if you take your makeup brush, you kind of want it to be at like a diagonal with your nose basically. And that's kind of how you can tell where to put that edge. So now we're going to do the same thing to the other side. I don't want to have a piece of tape on one side and not the other. So and make sure you don't get your lashes in there. Okay. So that'll just kind of give you a guide to where you don't have to worry about making a huge mess on the outer part, because now you can just go over it and it's just getting on the tape. You're going to peel that off later, so it's not that big of a deal. So once again, we're going to take those 2 shades and just kind of build up that color on the outside. And then you're just going to go back in with that same fluffy brush and just kind of blend it all together. You don't want any harsh lines. Alright, so to deepen up that outer corner, we are going to take our Sigma E45. It's super fine, and it goes to a point, and then we're just going to take, let's see here, we're going to take Chip and Mocha. We're going to mix those 2 together, which are these 2 down here, almost in the very, these 2 right here. And we're just access. And we're just going to keep this really low. And light and faint are going to be the lid shade that we use today. I'm just going to use one of these Wet n Wild brushes. It's super thin, nothing real big, because we really want to keep it nice and low to kind of go in underneath our crease. You can wet the brush. That's definitely going to make the pigment stand out a lot more. I'm not wetting my brush because I don't want it to be like in your face type of shimmer. I just want it to be very subtle. So, and even not wetting it, it's still very pigmented. And like I said, I did not wet my brush. This is just very pigmented, so you can wet your brush and it's going to be a lot more pigmented than what it is right now. But I'm not going for a shimmer. I'm just going for something to make me look more awake. So now that you have your lid shades on, you do want to go back over those colors, preferably with the browns that we went in with at first. And you just kind of want to blend out those harsh lines, which is Butter, Pooter, and Pukey. Same brush that you used to begin with, and you just go back over the top, make sure none of your lid shades kind of standing out to where you've got a harsh line. And it just kind of helps bring it all together. And then we will go back in and just kind of touch this up. And then you're going to take the tape off. This is why, if you do this method, you always want to do your foundation last, just so that way you're not peeling off foundation, and you can kind of blend in where you see that line. But you can see where it made that line on both sides to where it's not flat. It kind of blends together, but it kind of goes up. So when we go back in and do our lower lash line, we will connect it all, and it's just going to all look seamless. Pro Precision Smudge. It's number 29. It looks like this. Got a very sharp tip on it. You're just going to go back in with those browns. The 3 that we used as our transition shade. And you're just going to go underneath your lash line. And with the darker colors that we use now, the Hunts and the Roxanne, the two orangey red shades that we used. You're going to do it on the same brush. And like I said, it's all going to connect to where this point is. So you can see how it all came up into a point when we put that tape there. And then we'll go back in and we'll darken up the outer edge. So now I'm going to take a flat definer brush. To do the two darker colors that we used, you want to take a flat definer brush. And this is the Morphe M432. And you're just going to dip those in the mocha and the chip. And you're going to go along the lower lash line. But I'm only going to go about halfway, and then we'll blend it out. So just taking any small definer brush, you're just going to take all that and you're just going to blend it all together. And then, like I said, I'm going to darken up that outer corner just a little bit with that darker shade. Cosmetic brushes in the number 124. Looks like this. Super little. We're just going to go back on that outer portion right here and then just kind of blend that in to our lid shade. So just the same two dark colors. And then after this, you'll just get a blending brush and you'll just blend that back out so that way you don't have any harsh lines. So I'm just going to take a really big fluffy brush. This is the Morphe E22. And I'm just kind of going in circles where we just put that dark shade. And then I like to take my flat definer brush again and go back in with black, which is the very bottom shade in the palette. And I just put that right up here to make it look like you have, it just makes it look like you have eyeliner on the top, but you really don't. You just have a black shadow. And I don't even take it all the way in, just halfway. Halfway makes your eyes look more awake, more open, and that's kind of what we're going for today. And then I'm just going to take it and I'm going to go right here. Just right there in that corner. I'm not going to take it any further than that. And that just ensures that everything is kind of tied together, because we did have that tape on there, so you definitely don't want any lines. You kind of just want it all to flow together. And then now we can go back in with our foundation and stuff now that, because we do have a line from that tape. It even pulled off some of our concealer, which really isn't that big of a deal because you're going to go over it with foundation anyway. I was just doing it to kind of cover up those dark circles that I have, but doing your makeup in a fresh and brightening way also does help do that. Kokie Velvet Smooth Eyeliner. It's in the color Champagne. And we're just going to put that in our inner waterline. Okay, well that's not wanting to work very well. Use that color Beam to do our waterline, since my eyeliner is not wanting to work. And Beam is just a very glittery but yet kind of awake looking color, and it's the second color in the palette. So we are just going to use that on a very small brush. And this is the Morphe E36 brush. And I should probably have a brush smaller than this to be doing this. Our face, we're going to use the L'Oreal Magic Lumi Light Infusing Primer. I have not used this yet, so hopefully, ooh, it's a little liquidy. Definitely need to brighten up my face. And that's definitely bright, for sure. And I didn't put any on my nose or under my eyes because we have already concealed under our eyes. And okay, so for foundations, we are going to use the Makeup Forever HD sticks. Once again, I'm going to have to mix them to come up with my shade. And this one is super dark. It's okay because this one's super white, so and then we're going to take our Morphe M439 brush. I am going to spray that with a little bit of the Matte Fix Plus. I spray my makeup brushes because it does help my product go a lot further. And it doesn't feel as thick on my face, so it does kind of get you more for, I guess, what you're paying for when it comes to like the super expensive kind. And then you have it blended out in no time whenever you spray your brush, which is what I really like about spraying my brush. That's why I really like spraying my brush first and then buffing it, is because I feel like it helps my product go further. I don't have to use near as much foundation on my skin to achieve the look that I'm looking for. I feel like it helps it be more full coverage as well. And for powder, we are going to use the Urban Decay powder. It's just regular setting powder. It's not dark or anything like that. It's just a full face setting powder. And then we'll go back in and bronze. And then this is my Morphe E1 brush, my huge get the job done quick job. Okay, now that we have our face powder on, we are going to bronze our face. And then I'm going to use the Becca Sunlit Bronzer. I'm going to try this brush I've never used before, so we'll see how this works. I do like that bronzer. It's not real patchy. It's not flat either. It does have some shimmer in it. I don't know if you can see the shimmer, but I actually really like this bronzer. So now that we've bronzed, we are going to highlight the Becca Lilac bronzer. It's a really pretty purple color. It's a contour brush, but names mean nothing. You can use it for whatever you want. I've always used it for highlighting. Holy moly. Now that's a lot for just a little dab. And down the center of my nose. On my cupid's bow. And then a little bit on my chin. For blush. which again we are using we're going to use the Tarte blush. It's their holiday one. And I'm going to take the shade Angelic. This color right here. It's not like a nude, but it's not real pink either, which is what I like. I'm not a big super pink fan. We're going to go back in with that same highlighter that we used by Becca, and we're going to just do our brow bone highlight real fast. And we're just going to take that just on a regular flat shadow brush. Okay, now on to our brows. We are going to use our Anastasia Brow Wiz. Uh-oh. There we go. So this is the Anastasia Brow Wiz pencil. Super defined. Like I said, I don't make them real bushy. I just kind of fill in my scar. I use the Luminous Lash Paradise by L'Oreal. It's definitely one of my favorites. It's very comparable to the Too Faced Better Than Sex mascara. And then I use the Sephora Collection lashes in Quail. We're going to use our L'Oreal Pro Matte Liquid Lipstick in the color Plum Bum. I really like this color. It's a great fall color. So that completes this look for today. I hope you guys like it. Once again, if you haven't already, please subscribe to my channel. Give the video a thumbs up if you like it.